Hello, guys. Welcome back to Beyond the Checkered Flag. It is Taylor here, and this is episode 33. Okay, today we have a very, very special guest with us. He was my first ever driver interview, and now he is back a year later after an insane 2025 season. So please welcome Maxwell Dodds.
Thank
Dodds,
you for
how are
having me
you?
again, Taylor. Yeah,
No
I'm
worries.
absolutely buzzing to be back.
Sarcasm?
No, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back.
Just to start off, tell us what has changed since we last spoke to you.
Uh, Probably hairlines receding a little bit more and had a few better results than last year. So I feel like that's some serious progress, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so. So you're a champion now. How does it feel? Tell us about the season.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was a really, really good year, which we kind of didn't. Well, we obviously you want to go into every year expecting some good results, but obviously 2024 was difficult in F4, and after my return to racing, we were kind of thinking we need a change of scenery. Obviously, we moved over to Le Mans racing, and yeah, winning the championship was quite an insane feeling, to be fair. And hopefully, we can use that as motivation to kick on a little bit and do the same again this year.
Yeah, 100%. How if you could choose three words to describe this 2025 season, what would you choose?
I'd say, ooh, um, I'd say international,
Mm-hmm.
roller coaster, and then uh, last minute, but with like a hyphen.
Right, okay. You say roller coaster, is that kind of in a sense of like emotion wise, or is that in results or just the season in
But
general?
yeah, bit of everything. Just yeah, I mean, definitely emotions at the in the last sort of weekend where it was sort of feeling like the championship was sort of slipping away, and then to win it with sort of like 5-10 minutes left of the entire season is pretty mad, of course. And then obviously the results in the middle of the year got a little bit difficult. So I think the entire thing was just so much like variation in results, emotions all throughout the year, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. How hard was it to like swap from single seaters to endurance? Was there much of a change? Did you have to change anything about how you like how you drive?
I mean, not massively. I think because I only done F4 and single seaters, it's you're not really feeling the effects of downforce and that sort of stuff as much. So the cars felt very similar, to be honest, in my opinion. Apart from the fact it's obviously you're to one side of the car and the cars are slightly heavier, and obviously got roof, which is so it gets a lot hotter and that sort of stuff, and obviously new tracks. Um, Fuel management and tires, that sort of stuff again is slightly different, but in terms of actual driving style, not much was really different, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. And what were like the mental challenges going into this year? Obviously, it's quite a big change for you. So how did you cope with that?
I mean, I think it was more of a case of like had a weird year in F4 and I wasn't really enjoying myself much because even though I'd been out for 2.5 years and I was like praying to get back racing, I didn't really get that same buzz. So I sort of knew that I needed to go into this season and take off the pressure from myself and actually try and enjoy racing again, which I did. And then the results started getting better as well. So I feel like doing that and enjoying it more actually made we started performing better. So obviously that's what we wanted.
Yeah, of course. And this year you had to also rely on a teammate as well as yourself, which you didn't have to do in single seaters before. So what was that like? Talk us through how you had to like adapt to that.
I mean, of course, you as a driver, you just want to do everything yourself. You want to probably have the glory yourself and all this, and you don't really want reliance on anyone else. But obviously, it's a completely different sort of atmosphere. However, when I first started testing with Eco, obviously we got on really well, which is the first thing because you're both wanting the best for each other.
Mm.
Of course, there's always an element of where you want to be quicker than each other still to try and prove yourself as like the lead driver, but the entire time you're wanting the best for each other to try and make sure that you're both at the front and that as a unit you can be winning races, which we were. So it was difficult initially to sort of get into the mindset of like this guy is not just your teammate, but he's actually like your co-driver, like you're working together.
Mhm.
But then once you sort of got into rhythm, helping each other out, and you could use your own abilities to try and help the other person. And obviously Eco was helping me at the start of the season as well. When coming into it, it really helped us both to learn and improve.
Yeah, of course. And you also had to do like change seat changes halfway through a race. That how much did you have to practice doing that, getting into that? Because obviously you haven't had to do that before.
I mean, before the first round in Barcelona, we were practicing for like hours, just hopping in and out of the car, and it was like absolutely knackering. Just getting in, trying not to smash your helmet on the roof, and it wasn't exactly smooth to start with. But then right before each race, we started doing it more and more, and then also in between each practice session, like when we'd do the drive change in practice, and even qualifying, we'd try and do it as quick as possible so that when it came to the race, we'd done it in sort of a higher pressure situation, and we made zero mistakes throughout the year in terms of driver changes. Like there wasn't one racing scenario out of the 11 races where we had any issues for the driver changes. So that's I'd say that's pretty good going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was there any mishaps with that? But if you had no problems, and that's probably
No, I mean, apart from actually not really doing one in Spa because I didn't really get to drive, then I'd say we were it was pretty good going.
And who would be your dream team to do the 24-hour Le Mans with?
Oh, dream team.
Hmm.
I mean, I'd probably say as someone that is a bit more into like it probably just been like a really boring answer, but I'd probably love to do it with Toyota just because of like the history that they've got and sort of the drivers that have come through their ranks and just how iconic the cars are and that sort of stuff. Obviously, if you're going by success, you'd say Porsche, but now not being in WEC, then I'd have to probably take a second pick at that. So definitely say Toyota.
Yeah, and who, like, what drivers would you choose to do it with you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say I'm giving myself a 4 driver lineup.
Okay.
Instead I'm just giving myself one. I'd probably say first, probably go with Kevin Estre, just because of his like sports car ability. Is probably the best sports car driver on the planet. And just his like knowledge about cars would be so sort of invaluable
Hmm.
to know about. Then again, probably another endurance driver, maybe Kobayashi. Again, just someone that's so well renowned for his ability to race in Le Mans and just his all round like endurance racing. And then I probably finish off with Mr. Le Mans himself, Tom Christensen, who just won more Le Mans than anyone else. And I think with his sort of pedigree, that'd be quite nice to try and get one myself. But obviously there'd be drivers in sort of F1 and stuff that you'd think about. But I was trying to keep it endurance racing only to start
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, very nice. And is there much of like a budget difference when it comes to single seaters and endurance? Like, is it more affordable for a driver, or is it kind of just the same level?
It's definitely, I mean, it's difficult to say because you get a lot less track time. Like you're driving a lot less. So yes, the budget is cheaper. It's definitely
Hmm.
cheaper. That's no doubt. But when it comes to like actual mileage that you're doing a lot less miles. So I probably pound for pound, I imagine it's probably similar. But the whole premise of the series is that you're not doing 50 test days like you would in single seaters, and you're not doing a million laps, and it's not like half a tenth between first and second. It's more about your longevity of producing lap times over multiple hours, which is obviously a completely different style of driving. So
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. And obviously in British F4, there was it was quite media and fan based. So has that been similar this year, or has it just been a completely different vibe in the paddock?
I mean, I think it's definitely different in terms of the championship that I personally was doing. The Leger championship definitely didn't have the same sort of outreach that British F4 did. However, I think as you climb up the Le Mans ranks, especially if you start racing in ELMS, they have a really sort of big emphasis on like drivers being involved with the fans, especially with the grid walks where you're sort of with your car and then people are allowed to walk on the track at the start of the weekend and see the cars straight up. And then they've also got the autograph signing session in the pit lane, so everyone gets to walk past, see all the cars, and be signing all the things. So I think with my personal category, it was definitely less orientation in that direction. But I think as I climb up the ranks, it'll start to probably be more than what British F4 was.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I think you had some pretty big fans at Silverstone.
Yeah, I had probably two very very enthusiastic fans at Silverstone.
Maybe four, because our parents were there too. Don't forget.
That is true. That is true. But they weren't quite cheering on the podium like the other two.
And looking at the F1 Championship last year, what was your thoughts on it? Obviously, Lando Norris won.
I mean,
Be
I think
honest.
it's be honest. I mean, I think you can't like take it away from any of the three that would have won it. I mean, I think I would personally say that just with how he drove throughout the year, I think Verstappen did deserve it. If deserve it is even the right thing to say, because realistically, the person that wins it deserves it. But
yeah,
I think with just the discrepancy in the car, in comparison between McLaren and Red Bull, and with how close it was in the end, I think it's hard to go against saying Verstappen was deserved it. But of course, it's obviously good for the sport having a new champion. I think it's going to be same again next year with sort of the same three probably fighting, depending on how the new regs go. And I'm hoping it's Piastri next time around.
yeah, 100%. And what's been your most memorable race from last year?
I'm gonna have to say two, so I'm gonna just ignore your question entirely. I'd say the first one was obviously like winning at Le Mans. I'll put that in like air quotes because obviously it was taken away afterwards. But I think you can't really describe the feeling of driving on a track like that and doing such an iconic race. Like obviously it wasn't the main 24 hours, but just to race at Le Mans and then win in air quotes and stand on the top step of the podium when you've got so many people there, and you obviously you don't sort of dream of that, or at least you dream of that to be sort of something that's later on you like in your career. So for that to happen so soon was an incredible feeling. And then of course the last round, winning the championship, that last race was one where started with such low expectation and not really any hope of winning the championship to then win was mad.
Yeah. And what was going through your mind on that final lap before winning the championship? Surely it must have been such a surreal moment for you.
No, not at all. Mainly because they didn't tell me. Basically,
Oh,
we went into the last race, and I was basically using it as like an audition. I knew that with the last round, you have all the teams watching, the LMP2, the LMP3, the GT3 teams. They all watch because they're looking for the upcoming drivers, and usually the end of the season is where you start to find out how everyone's progressed, and that's usually how it's looking. So, and we didn't really have much hope of winning the championship unless anything happened to Roman. So the team just said, go out there, enjoy yourself, and try and prove what you got. So I just went out there with no intentions of anything but just winning by as big a margin as possible. So head down, not really any thoughts. And to be honest, I came across the line really disappointed because the team were like, they basically said, "Oh, obviously great win, Max. You did yourself really proud." That was it, and I was like, which was really mean because I was like, oh. So I remember just being so sort of disheartened, like thinking, oh, this is horrendous. I've never been so disappointed about a win in my life. And then they waited until I've gone around like 3-4 corners before they told me. And obviously then the switch of emotion was like crazy, but we had a bit of a word afterwards because it was a bit mean to like leave me hanging with that sort of thing. But it was it was mad. It was a mad feeling.
Yeah. And did you get to like celebrate with your team that championship win? Do anything special or?
I mean, ish, kind of, not really. I mean, we had the obviously the podium and all that type of stuff, which was good because we had all the team on the podium instead of just me and Eco, which obviously was really nice because to share that with all of them when they'd worked so hard as well, and it was their first championship. It's obviously a really good feeling for them, of course, as well as us. And then we had the famous like swim in the swimming pool at Portimao, which all the ELMS champions do at the end, which obviously a very cool feeling. But in terms of celebration, not really, because we had the ELMS awards, which was very cool. But then we were testing the next day, so not really much celebration in itself. But we could. I mean, I can't really complain when I was driving an LMP3 car the next day. So
Yeah. And if you take like the championship out of it, what are you most proud of yourself for this season? What you've been able to achieve?
I think I just developed a lot as a person more than like a driver. I think I was able to overcome things a lot better than I previously had been able to, and I sort of learned a lot about the way that I need to act to bring the best out of myself and how to be a lot like sort of kinder to myself in the way that I put pressure on, and that I do it in a way that's actually beneficial and not just sort of taking away from how I'm sort of feeling. And I think I learned to cope with things a lot better and deal with adversity in a lot better way. So I think that'll help me a lot later on down the line as well when things start to get tough.
And a fan asked question: when are your
Oh,
streams coming back? When are the Max Dodds streams coming back?
it's gonna have to be soon. I'm gonna have to do one very soon. I mean,
Yeah.
I've not been on it, to be honest. It's been too long. I think the problem is I've got too friendly with the fans, so I don't think anyone's going to watch anymore because they're just like, oh, right, Max is streaming. Well, I could just speak to him later, so I'm not going to join that. So I feel like I'll have to decide if I'm going to be bothered or not to do it.
No, because all the other drivers have catched on and they've all started streaming now. So you need to like.
Oh yeah, but they're just copying me. Realistically, they're just trying to steal my like shine. So realistically, they can do that. I mean, it's not going to be as good ever, but like, you know, they can do whatever they want.
They're not gonna get dressed to impress.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not gonna have Roblox escape rooms, are they? Realistically, so like, there's nothing they can't really compete.
Yeah, of course. Have you got a favorite off-track memory from last season?
Oh, probably no.
No.
I mean, I was very sort of locked in, very locked in last year. I mean, if it's completely aside from racing, is that what you're saying? Like completely outside of racing?
Just not on. Yeah. So like at race weekends, just not on the track.
Oh well, then no.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, there was. I mean, I don't really know. Like, there's not really much I can say. Very locked in on race weekends, so there's not really much I can remember.
Yeah, fair enough.
So pretty boring.
No, it's good to be locked in. You gotta be. That's why you won the championship.
Yeah. But I don't really remember half of it, so
Just blacked out.
Yeah, I was just so focused that everything was just a blur at one point. So,
damn. Have you got any secret talents, Mr. Dodds? Guitar?
Yeah. Learning guitar, as have you seen, relatively unsuccessfully, and I can juggle as well, which is
you can juggle,
which I feel like most drivers can nowadays because they all just like to think it's like hand-eye coordination, so it's not even special. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably say no again.
No, we'll take juggling. All right, we'll test that next time we come watch you race. We'll test that theory. We'll get you to juggle.
I was gonna see if I had anything here, but it doesn't look like it. So we're just gonna be no juggling on this call. But
Oh,
I'll do
that's
some good next time you get me on next year.
next year.
I'll be guitar professional, and then that'll be.
You can juggle while playing guitar. It'll be mental. As you throw them, you can like.
What, strum like.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Anything what are you looking to have for you next year? Obviously, you don't have to say what you're doing next year, but what are you hoping for yourself for this year, sorry, without giving anything away.
First of all, I don't even know myself. So
Mm.
that's a good start. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm halfway or further away through January, not a clue. So that's ideal. But I think whatever I'm doing, it needs to be. Listen, I'm trying to get to a stage in my career where I'm not paying as much money.
Yeah.
So obviously we want to be progressing up the ladder, making sure that I'm getting closer and closer to an end goal of making it a career. So anything that's sort of progressing me further up either Le Mans ladder or something entirely different, as long as I'm moving up and I'm in a place where I can win races, then I can't really complain too much.
Yeah, of course. One final question. One specifically I was told not to ask. Dodds, if you was jelly, would you be wibbly or wobbly? It's what the people want to know.
Is this what is that what they're trying to find out? Is this peak beyond the checkered flag? Is
Yeah.
this what
We're
brings
trying
in
to
the
switch
views?
it up. Last year I was asking about vegetables. This year I need to like switch it up. So jelly.
And we've gone with jelly.
Yeah.
Is this going to be like a Instagram reel? You need to make an Instagram reel out of it.
It might have to be. It might
It,
have to be.
what's cooler? Like I feel like Wiggly is more like Wiggly feels to me like it's more like that way. Whereas in wobbly feels like it's more of like a side to side motion. Are you feeling what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So
yeah, right.
like, do you know what I mean? I feel like we need to deep dive this scientifically. So yeah, Wiggly seems like that. I think Wiggly's like that, and wobbly is more like a full. Which one would I rather be? I feel like wobbly's quite clumsy. I feel like Wiggly's you got more finesse in Wiggly.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna go with Wiggly. And I don't think you're gonna get a better answer than that, to be honest.
No, that was the most. That's the less judged I've been. That's the least judged I've been.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to take these interviews really seriously, and that I feel like that's you're not really gonna get a better answer than that, to be honest, all year. So
exactly. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Dodds.
I won't be back.
Huh?
I'm not coming back.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah, yeah, sure, something like that.